right? First stream of 2024. Happy New Year to me and you and everyone. Man, bright. It's bright. Been away a few days. Not just from streaming, but my whole work setup. Look at these interesting settings. Oh, settings. Is there anything you can't do? And at the moment, I'm not entirely sure what to just jump into. The big wide world of Zelda. Slowly I've been chipping away at my bucket list and feeling now, recently at least, that the low-hanging fruit, the stuff that was just itching to get plucked and sketched is kind of mostly, you know, done. It's in the past. But there is still so much. It's not leaping straight to my frontal cortex. And so when I get a little stuck, it's okay. You just do a little research. There's a handy website, IGN. Never heard of them. They some sort of game, you know, chronicler. They've got a nice little guide to some things that I think are cool. Dungeon enemies might be fun. Igor keys. I've actually done a lot of these. The Moldorms are interesting. Those used to freak me out. I don't know if I need the dungeon enemies so much as I need the dungeon bosses. Let's do link to the past dungeon bosses. ZeldaDungeon.net. Yeah, these are scary guys. Look at this fucker. Jeez. The Helmasaur. Oh, and then blind was so scary. I remember guys talking about him around the 4th grade play yard. Trinix. Trinix is the boss of the 7th dungeon of the Dark World, Turtle Rock. 2 elemental heads. That one is one thing, but this one, very scary. The Helmasaur King. I'm gonna do it. Let's draw the Helmasaur King. What other data can we collect? This is like the Pokemon version. This one we saw. Crazy shit I saw when I was 11 years old. Yep. And so we have an opportunity in this battle to show Link in a dungeon, fighting a boss, maybe a few sort of peripheral enemies or things can be around. But also the main weapon for this battle was the hammer, which is so basically represented. But we could plus it up maybe and just see what happens. And then, you know, if we fail and it sucks, it sucks. It's okay. All right. And meanwhile, we've got a couple of things we can do reference drawings. Ooh. Let's do studies. That's a good way to get things going. Nope, not there. Put them here. I'm a little bit inclined to not take tonight too seriously. My son, we just got back from a trip to Alaska. We spent like 4 days, 4 nights, something like that. And my wife is from Alaska, so it's not, you know, bucket list stuff to go to Alaska. It's something we do every other year. Even though it's very fun. It's very good times. But we just got back this morning. I'm past exhausted. I'm actually flipped around and on my second wind, so it's nice. And everybody's gone to sleep except for me and my son. And my son decided to just get up and start building a bunch of Lego blocks in the middle of the night, despite having fallen asleep at 5 p.m. So I just told him to put himself to sleep, and I trust he'll, you know, we have deadbolts on the doors and they're all nicely secured, and I trust him to hold his own. But you know, him and I right now, we're sort of on this midnight cruise to Creativityville, taking our own way. So gotta answer the call. Okay, so Helmasaur. Well, we'll just do a couple sketches and load it into our brains and see what comes out. And this will be fun, me figuring out what settings got deactivated while I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so this drawing here for you guys is maybe helpful, but I don't like looking to the side. I like to look vertical when I look at references, so I'm going to put it up here. And then I'll load a version here so you guys can see it. Pulling up the thing. Let's see here. Oh, there's me in Alaska. I thought I sanitized my desktop, but clearly I did not. Well, there you go. There's my kids. There's me. And there's Helmasaur. All right. What? Oh, here, turn it on. There it is. Alright, baby. So that's where I'll sketch. Alright, I'm just going to draw that. We don't need to improve everything. All right. Keep it pretty simple. It's a symmetrical kind of design. Horseshoe, crab kind of. What a fun design. Back of his body here looks like a roasted chicken. You can see the ribs sort of poking through the skin, catching light. This is a highly it's kind of spooky for a Zelda character. Makes me wonder if this was originally designed or sitting in the reject folder of a different game, like what would it be, like R-Type or Gradius or something like that, where you're battling space aliens. I mean, this could have been something that was from Contra, like freaky alien skull things. But Zelda does get does dip its toes in this scary shit sometimes. It's like I haven't drawn in forever, so it all just is muscle memory right now. His body is basically this urchin. And then it's got these kind of legs that I guess they're ambulatory. They'll sort of shift, scuttling about. But the rest of the body doesn't really move, and it's mostly the tail that sort of whips around. And it attacks at these angles that are non-realistic, but just makes it all the more scary. Fun. Damn, I could have done a better job making those eyes a little bit more centered. This thing's not far from a Bulbasaur. We'll do a couple sketches just to familiarize ourselves. And in the meanwhile, we can think about what could be cool. Like, obviously, this tail weapon is its main attack. You know, could he be doing something with his claws as well? Could the helmet be glistening, or would it be fractured? I remember during battles, you would attack it and it would get these fractures across the face, letting you know basically how close you were to defeating it. Do we bring that in? I think we should. And then what is this design? Like, what is this? This could have been better. You know, this sort of... whatever it is kind of designed for this tail spearhead or whatever. The rest of this is pretty much like this. There you go. Helmasaur. Not too bad. We can move this aside. We could save. All right. That's one sketch. This is a slightly more dynamic. It feels about right. This is probably... yeah, it doesn't look like it's like a radical reinvention. It's probably came about... well, you guys can't see it. Here, this thing. This guy. I'll draw this one next. And I'll swap this guy out. Mm-hmm. There we go. That's interesting. It affected both images. Well, I only meant to replace one, but no worries. Okay. Quick sketch here. Maybe it's the case for some of you who might be listening, but the I don't find vacations relaxing. I find them stressful. And so getting away, though I want to honor my wife's, you know, sort of drive to explore and do different things and whatnot, it's very disruptive for my personal goals. Hey, what if I wanted to like save some money instead of traveling? Or you know, work on my own projects now that I have some downtime because of the holidays or whatever. No such luck. And so it's interesting. I don't know why it's doing this per se, because I thought it was turned off, but right now it's using the reverse out layer compositing setting, which is it's really quick. If you draw something in it and then draw something inside of that, it'll sort of give it the negative version of the same stroke, and then you can do it again inside of it, and then it's sort of, you can get this checkerboard kind of layering of information, which is helpful sometimes when you've got certain effects that need to happen. And even if you don't, it can yield some unexpected results that are not bad. So give it a shot. But yeah, I can't tell if these are just red eyes, I guess. Red shining globes of vision. losing a little bit my proportions here. Let's try not to veer too far while we're paying attention to that stuff. If I didn't catch it, it would have been fine, whatever, but a study is, in my opinion, an opportunity to learn what the artist was intending, not what you're trying to put on top of it. So if he was intending to do that, assuming he was, what was that reason? In this case, it was probably a scale kind of sense, like getting a sense of the massiveness of the head in relation to the relative smallness of the body. This big old tail comes around. Of course, it's sort of clumsily rendered here, like it's like some sort of lit fuse. Like, why? Maybe it's meant to communicate that we're being hit or attacked by it, or that's the enemy point of danger or weak point or something, but not ideal. Let's see here. I'd have to go this way, level out, come back around this way. Something like that. Smash. Pow. It doesn't look that great. The what this looks like is just a thing. It could be any size. It's not really communicating. It's probably just the camera angle. Just looks like we're looking down on it, which we wouldn't be. I've got a couple of ideas on what our composition could look like. Save this out, but for in the meantime, what does this look like? The magic hammer. Jeez. Well, doesn't want to play today. All right, so I mean, I'm really just trying to look up, yeah, stuff like this. This is the hammer as I know it. But unlikely to be the current version. This looks a lot more like what the hammer would be now. Megaton hammer. Right, fun stuff. Jesus Christ. This is all just AI shit, isn't it? Ugh, it's the worst. Oh my god. Gilby. What else is happening here? Look at this stuff. Look at this stuff. This is what the inevitable result of this AI shit is. Look at this. Do you see this shit? Oh. What's going on? Stable diffusion. It's just gonna go on and on forever. Artists are obsolete. Shit. Who wants this? Christ. Ugh. It's just painful. What the hell? Oh, I'm just getting depressed. Okay. Okay. Note to self. Never look up anything online again. Jesus Christ. Alright, so. Helmasaur. Here, let's start a new image. But we can keep these guys around in the corner. Let's find a cool composition. All right, we can see all these things. I love the idea of really getting a sense of like Link holding a very large, heavy hammer, like the war hammer, that shit straight out of Gladiator, that Ridley Scott film. In the opening scenes, there's this some sort of, you know, barbarian tribe leader wielding this giant hammer. Then he's just crushing these Roman soldiers with it. It's just a brutal depiction. It would be cool to get that sort of vibe. At the same time, I don't want to overdo it, because it's not like this guy is the ultimate enemy. All right. Let's think here. Well, horizon could be low. Just get us into the action. Sure, just like that. Let's turn this to multiply, so I don't have too many surprises. Okay. I like the idea of this thing moving fast. We could make it look like the mask was half on and half off. There could be an almost Phantom of the Opera kind of presentation. Claws, but like digging in, like really, he kind of has this sort of body like this, like I expect a little bit of like it's if you've ever seen like an iguana in a cage. I know my friend growing up had one. And when this thing wanted to move, like it did, and it had these big powerful claws, and it would just throw shit all around his cage, and trying to do, like, very rarely this would happen. He was a good iguana daddy, but on occasion you could tell the thing was a little bit annoyed and wanted to get the fuck out. And there was no doubt that it was gonna try. So though the creature... Oh, hey, people are here. Oh shit, the Helmasaur King. Hot local grandpa, exactly. That's what's up. BRB. Is the Helmasaur King. And what we're gonna kind of do is have... The question is the tail. And the tail is it's a tale as old as time. What do you do with the tail? As usual, I feel like I've drawn it too close. Get a little bit of distance. Okay, here's what has to happen with this tail. Is it's got to look like it's literally like shattering something enormous. So we'll set it up so that we're in a dungeon that has pillars. That'll help reinforce our sense of perspective. Oh, and we can even get a sense that he's like crashing into something here. So that's kind of cool. So while he's... What's that movie? The Rescuers Down Under had a great iguana character. It wasn't it wasn't an iguana. It was like a Gila monster or something like that. But it was this massive lizard with a lot of weight behind it, and you could tell that the artists who animated that character really understood the performance of the semi-intelligent lizard with an egg fetish, and this will be the thing. We will have the tail recede and then come out into space and then smash into this pillar. Or at least something like this. It need not be a pillar even. It could be anything that was near Link that could smash. That could be a statue. I think. Make this thing go kaboomy. And then this thing go smashy. Get the fun sense of perspective. Hey, what's up, man? How was your New Year? Thanks for coming in. Chilling. New Year's is a is always tricky for me because my wife's birthday is New Year's Day. So that is I'm allowed to have fun, but that fun must be tempered by the goal of satisfying my wife's sense of not only do I not have to let her down in any one particular year, I have to reverse anybody who's ever let her down in any other particular year before I even knew her, and atone for those sins as well. Very, very difficult. So I was actually mentioning before that she's from Alaska, so what we do is we go to... a few times we've done this, we've actually just gone to Alaska to visit her old friends and hang out with them, and that made a lot of sense during COVID, especially because it just was a good place to chill. Yeah, no, it actually is a lot of fun, and it's a huge departure from the LA climate, which, you know, I've grown up with my whole life. I'm used to. I really enjoy Alaska, actually. It's very, you know, it's a, or at least Anchorage is a fairly big city. Well, relatively for its, you know, population, very big city, but also has a small town feel. Very, you know, unique, and yet very cosmopolitan. It's the city of the future, you know. You should do so. The people are cool. There's something for everybody there. If you like snow, you're in luck. This was the coldest trip to Alaska I'd ever been in. This was it was in the negatives for a couple of days, like negative like 4. But that was a new temp, new temperature unlocked, you know, new achievement. So what I'm trying to do with the drawing is have, you know, a sense of, like, obviously this is Helmasaur over here, and I want to get a sense of Link just absolutely winding up like a big ass hammer. Just gonna fucking smash this guy and like defeat him in one blow. But I gotta do it right. Maybe his face is all ugh, the hat is always gonna kill me. Is there a name for the hat? Is it his hood? Is that what it is? I don't know either. His cowl? I think this makes sense. Link's hat is a Phrygian cap. The Phrygian, it's also known as the Liberty Cap, symbolizes freedom and liberty from oppression, and was worn with the apex bent forward over the top of the head. Oh, it's sort of like a kind of thing. Ah. Phrygian cap. Feels like that's like lore after the fact, like would it go like that? I'm trying to figure out where his weight distribution would be. That doesn't look too bad. But like sometimes it's fun. Oop, let's make this bigger. There's an audience. Let's see here. Yeah, no, I dig that. I just never heard of Phrygian. Like, is that Zelda lore or like real human? Yeah. Is it elfish? Let's see here. It's a real thing. Okay. So like the Phrygians. I'm trying to figure out if he needs to like raise his leg. Do something. Like that. Yeah, it might be more like this. Really. It's like, here's my ass. No, but we can figure out ways of smoothing out what's going on here. All right, Phrygian cat. Eastern Europe and Anatolia, including the Persians, the Medes, the Scythians, as well as the half this stuff sounds made up. Dacia, Thrace, and Phrygia, where the name originated. Sounds very I can hear my wife moving around in the hallway, so I wonder if everything's okay. But the yes, the I always thought this was like, you know, more or less lifted from like Nordic mythologies and stuff like that. I don't know, it felt very like the Medes, or those like the Medians, like, is this the Balkans? So this is like Greece and Persia, or like Romania. I don't know. It's sort of interesting. All this was conquered by the Roman Empire, of course, but the it's interesting. All right, let me flop this. Link has given me some trouble today on this one. Yeah, I need to wind him up a little bit more. Come on. I can literally hear my son tiptoeing around the hallway. I'll be right back. Robbie, do you need something? Okay, Robbie, go in there. Okay. Robbie, go upstairs. Go sleep on Tommy, okay? That's next level parenting right there. Go to sleep. This is good. Now I just need him to lean more into the composition. This is kind of it. Although now I think I have it. I think about this a little bit more. Is whoa, I hit the wrong button. Here we go. Erase, slim down. Okay, need a little bit more of like this giant hammer here. And then he is very precocious, but I always joke, I'm like, Robbie, you need to sleep. If you don't sleep, how can you grow? You're gonna shrink. I tell him stories about how he's gonna wake up smaller in the morning. I won't be able to find him. I'll say, well, we can't find Robbie. We loved him, but he's gone now. Well, it's getting close. It's not quite right. I think this might be a perspective thing. Sizing him up a little bit more. Kind of like that, actually, but don't know if that's the solution. Like this. I don't mind seeing this leg cranked up, but I've been working on these golf commercials, and they're quite nuanced in how the stance of a golfer and the body parts that they move is key to getting as much driving force into the thing. It's been, you know, a fun little diversion for me to like pay attention to stuff like that, but well, some things I like about this are the, I feel like the elements are reinforcing the composition. It looks like he's about to hit the guy. That's good. It looks like he's winding up. I like that we're seeing the front of Link as opposed to the back of him. If it was more like this, is that better? Very well might be. Megaton hammer. Yeah. This is like a tried to let's, as an alternate idea, definitely try to really play up the... Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's doing it. I just wonder if it could be a little cleaner, because right now the handle of the thing is crossing his face, and that's not necessarily bad, but it's not super clean. And he could be doing similar but different. You know, if it's like this. Change the position of the swing. Yeah. Just a little bit like, right? And then... So the Megaton hammer was a real thing. The I tried to look this stuff up, and I got a lot of like AI regurgitation shit, where it was like, wait, is that real or is that like not a? Cause like I could tell it was AI BS. It was just like a bunch of, dude, where's this shit? It's like horrible. Oh, did I close it? I would have, but the terrible. Zelda Link Hammer is what I clicked on. And then look at all this stuff I found over here in the corner. It's like... none of this is actual drawings done by humans. It's like, of course Link has boobs and has 2 ears. And that's like, right now someone is trying to... like, is this AI? Probably, but... you know, that's not as bad as some of the other stuff I was looking at. That kind of looks like AI to me. Just being honest. Where did all the other stuff go? It was like, oh shit. It was never ending with this stuff. Alright, I don't need to make that the... it's not the Max Dunks on AI podcast, but the, damn, it fucking sucks, man. So I'm just trying to, like, learn about something, and it's like, oh, here's your answer, and it's like, fucking BS, man. Okay, so this will have all the right length. And it does. I feel like this looks like the right kind of wind up and... like he's doing this big spin maneuver and cranking his whole shit around. And probably need to make sure that it looks like you see this side of the thing. Not make it look like it's pointing in 2 different directions at once. It's all theft. It is. That's bullshit. Theft. I won't, counterweight for extra force. Well, of course it does. And it needs a couple spikes on it. Right? Or something. You know, at least a couple spikes like that. It's got straps on it from... it's like a Joy-Con. Otherwise it's gonna go flying. Alright, let's see here. Ooh. We live dangerously. Saving 40 minutes into a drawing. This part got a little big. Make that down a smidge. This is good, and it can have this sort of reinforcing. See the thing points. That points to the thing, you know, kind of a thing. And then this thing also needs to point to the thing. Make sure that happens. Everything is pointing. Oh. Hey, bud. What you doing? What do you see? Do you see your head? You see your head. That's fun. He's got my ears. Oh, you can't see him because I got my things in. Hey, but you gotta go to bed. What time is it? It's midnight, you little butt. Okay. There's Cheez-Its on the table. Go eat some Cheez-Its and drink some water and go to bed. This was one of those days where we said, oh, he fell asleep on the couch. Should we wake him up so that he can sleep later? Or should we just let him sleep and then pray he stays asleep the whole night? And so that's what happened. He did not stay asleep the whole night. This is good. I like the pose. Now I don't know if I like the scale. It's not that I don't love... Like, this is all good. I just need something else happening. And I think I have an idea. Which is there are these cool I kind of did a thing with these guys earlier. There's these cool like sliding tile bad guys that can't be defeated. Sort of like roving razor blades of doom. But Zelda fans will remember how they keep you nimble on your feet. They kind of look like Link might be dodging something like that while he is engaged in battle, which he would be. Make sure this is the right size. I like these things being big. There we go. Little. Bit more length. So he doesn't have these giant legs given him, but something like that to hold over in the meanwhile. It's got these like epic proportions that aren't accurate to the character right here. Just not right, but ugh, I've drawn all over it. All right. Shrink all that to nothingness. What else can we do over here? That's kind of cool. Would be that. You know, otherwise I gotta have him like doing this crazy like battle jump hammer flying from that old movie, ring of fire or something like that. Got the fire axe barreling straight down on the dragon. Flatten that a bit. Okay, we are in the painstaking redraw territory. Not really, but let's do what we can to improve the sketchiness. A little bit wider. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, I hear a lot of bumping and thumping. I'll be back. Are you guys going to be okay? You can make sure it doesn't get into trouble, okay? You guys are being scamps. 6 straws, okay. So the formula we tried with my son, which is just let him go to sleep early. Because, you know, we just got back from Alaska. So, you know, they're like, what? We're used to the sun setting at 3 p.m. You know, why is the sun still in the sky? I'm tired. You know, so they just went to bed at like 6 p.m. And we're like, cool, problem solved. You know, who cares if they didn't have dinner? Kind of thing. Now that is now currently biting me in my ass. But my older daughter will let me know if there's any serious issue, because now she is up too, and more or less supervising. This looks too defensive. Maybe he can be leaning forward as well. Sketching. But if you can see, like, maybe he's like... No, I liked it leaning back. It just... Gotta make sure I carry that through in the whole pose of the thing. Just like barely touching. Okay. I'm doing it. It's like this kind of like... He's winding up and he's like limboing, like past the destruction of like this strike and this thing, and sort of make it look like it's like shooting across this way. That'll be cool. Then it doesn't have to be anything over here. It's just dark. More dark. Kind of a thing. Well, the basics of the composition are here. Okay, I'm gonna give myself 20 minutes to do what I can on this, and then otherwise I gotta turn in my Father of the Year badge. Cool so far, though. Let's see here. All right. Let's flip this around. Okay, I feel like this makes it clear to me that Link could be bigger. It's not fair to be husband of the year and father of the year at the same time, is it? what I'm going to do is take all that down a notch. So now you can barely see even what I'm drawing, which I apologize for. But we have some... Hold on. I have to turn off the noise canceling on my headphones. Alright, well, they know where I am if they need me. Clearly. Okay. Let's just focus on Link right now. Light strokes. I really want to make sure we get all the tension. So Link's face is like this. Yeah. And you can have different things, you know. It's always got different bits of stuff. He can be badass Link. He's got big gloves. He's got to look like he can pick up this hammer in the first place, right? Sort of looking. Oh my fucking god. I can hear them from here. Arguing about who gets the most Cheez-Its in a bowl. Oh my god. Or should it be more like down here? Yeah, maybe. No, it would be... maybe farther up. Yeah, that's the one. That's the pro tip. If you think it's one thing and it doesn't look good, and then you try the opposite and it starts to look better, it's like maybe... But that's the question. Where is the... is it kind of flat like that? Yeah, it would kind of be a little bit. Nope, that doesn't work. Maybe it is like this. It's like all facing away. Kind of like that, maybe. couple grips there, and then another grip section here. But all the perspective staying consistent. Then whatever the it had a strange design to it that I feel like that more or less gets it, but I'll have to hone it down later. Can we get a little bit of his hat poking up? I think that's better than just having it as it was. Here. Sense of Link's boots. It's not bad. Worthwhile effort for the what otherwise would have been a lost day of holiday-related unproductivity. Keep this looking badass. Something here needs to get fixed. But not by much, not necessarily. This is just a bit of spiky looking geometry. Oh, it's like a very small thing. Whatever it is, like it's not, it's small enough that it's not clear to me what the issue is. So it's pretty small. But what I suspect it is something about the missed perspectives, like maybe see where I've got these here. Like it's going like that, and maybe it needs to be more like this so that that angle is more flat to camera. Subtle. It's like that. But I like how it feels like Link is leaping and twisting and getting all this shit up. It's like, whoa, it's like super slow-mo 300 epic hammer hit, and like this guy is like coming around the corner here and draw him next. Ding, ding. Okay, Helmasaur. Look all fucked up. Crunchy bits of shattered mask evident on this side. And then relatively unscathed, smooth, dangerous looking. All this side. Chunks flying off. Cracking, breaking from the previous strikes. Scared, running scared. Okay, so the body's here. It's like this scrambling, ribs pointing out. Flailing sharp. Talons that are digging into the relatively smooth dungeon floor. Sort of scrambling, scraping. Talking about this stuff because it stimulates the like what details might be there, like scrapes in the that stuff might be there, This even looks like some sort of smoke. This stuff sort of like, you can imagine all sorts of debris and dust from things smashing and creating clouds of dust. This hand digging in tight. He's not good at cornering, He's too heavy and a lot of momentum. Doesn't see well. Kidding. He thinks he's got Link now. Got him trapped. Crashing into one pillar as soon as he's smashing into another. Just destruction everywhere. My pillar designs won't be anything epic, but it's feeling like columns are crashing. Something here could look like smoke. Something. One thing I'm not loving here we go. Make it look like something is falling in the background. That's better. And then this isn't going the way I need it to. So we can redesign it or omit it entirely. That's okay. Let's make it look a little bit more smashed up. Though I miss it now, so let's just knock it back a little. It's too sharp here. It's making it look like it's trying to point to something, and I don't have anything there for it to point to. Bring it back, but with a different shape. So it's recognizable for what it was, which is the sort of the center point of the helmet. But it's less feeling like an unanswered question. We'll finagle that later. Okay. This creature apparently has all these types of protruding rib ends that go like that. But I don't like how even they look. So we'll stagger them a bit and make sure it feels like there's a continuation. That fits with what we're going to do with the tail, which is an extension of the spine. So all that has to sort of, you know, even if I don't sort it out perfectly here, it will eventually have to make sense. So if we have a sense of the spine moving back here, and then we feel like it picks up as it would logically before it gets too far. It's tricky because I don't want like a cartoony but I want, you know, the original thing is a little cartoony, so it's like you want to honor the original concept, but also make something that looks like it responds to physics. It's not like Tom and Jerry slapstick. Big old thing. It's like an ankylosaur. The kids are destroying my kitchen right now. Just this poor, nearsighted, nearly blind, sort of juggernaut beast of a creature. We haven't really even thought much about lighting or anything like that. Maybe we can screw around with that on tomorrow's version. Realistic version of the Helmasaur King. I mean, I don't feel like we're not necessarily too far off here. It's just a it's how you handle it kind of thing. If it looks like it's smashing and destroying and things as it would in real life, at the scale and the weight, and you know, and the light is doing what it should, reacting. It's real. It's as real as a miniature real thing. Where would light come from? Not that we have to sort it out. I'm going to do a little bit of just dabbing in some details. But it's something to think about. Light could come... And what I'm gonna do right now isn't light. It's just a little bit of... 3 a.m. Done me some justice. Thank you, Hot Local Grandpa. And get some rest. You have a shoulder surgery coming up. Good luck with your shoulder. I sincerely hope you have a speedy recovery. And have a good night. Come back tomorrow if you want. All right. What I'm doing here... Torn labrum and arthritis. Oh, man. Hey, man. Just take a bunch of those meds and take a day for yourself if you can. That sounds like a rough one. All right. Good night. Good luck. I mean that. Good luck. Whew. Ouchie. So what I'm doing here is just sort of indicating where some like I haven't even really sorted out what I do when I do this, but it is a kind of reverse highlight. It's like where do we see, where would the light not go if we were just shining it right above? What can we do to accentuate and reinforce decisions that we're making in a way that's efficient with time? And also feels malleable. It's finding overlaps. It's definitely about overlaps. It's about finding where the dark crevices on a form might be. With a bit of nuance, you know? It's not everything where the shadow is. Because if it looks better to retain some lightness in those sections, then we let it be light. Something like that. It's not bad. I think Link's head just needs to be about 30% bigger. So let's honor our feelings here. See what that does. Definitely would give us more Phrygian cap. But yeah, we wouldn't detail as much the top of it. Gotta be tricky. But it's okay to do the side. A little bit of an indication there. That's all you need. do the same on the Helmasaur, but with a lighter value. That'll help it remain distinct. It won't appear as close as the values over here. Oh, this needs something there. Yeah. That's cool. Big old swaths of this and that. Yeah, there's some good potential here. We can just retain some of these just as notes to selves. It's not bad. It's not perfect, but I'm not really trying to do much conscientiously right now. I just know that if I sort of apply my little formula of where these dark notes go, it helps clarify, or at least advance the ball in my thinking. Sort of makes decisions without feeling like I was pressed to make a decision that I'll feel bad about. Feels consistent, feels intentional. And then even if I do nothing else, sometimes it can feel like a finished drawing. Mashing and crashing everywhere. Gotta have speed lines. Intensity. Fairly rad. Let's get some glow going on. Something to introduce some atmospherics. It's acting strangely. Okay. It's kind of a fun don't know if I love the well, a little bit of backlight here is good. And if it's coming from that direction, I feel like I always do this, but what could work out is the shadow of Link coming off will also reinforce the composition. Because that's something that is actually bothering me right here, is that the feels like there needed to be something here that wasn't there. And if we put a shadow there, then that's something. I don't need it to make it look like he's glued to the floor. But a little something to help give a sense that what we did there was intentional. And all this makes for a strong silhouette here. And here as well. All of this. Well, let's not go nuts, but too late. Yeah, maybe he's smashing so much shit that it's like opening up a hole in the roof. Or something. It still needs something here in the foreground. That's okay. It can look like crumbling masonry. It's just to reinforce the theme. Link smashing shit. The bad guys smashing shit. It's a total smash off. Just need a little bit of highlight on these spiky things so we don't forget them. are smashing into shit too. Endless destruction. Pretty good. Bring this one forward just a little more. That's not bad. Flop it. Good. A little bit more like that. That'll about do it. God rays. It's like the most epic thing ever. It's too much at this point, but it's fun to put in the things that make it feel like it's getting more real. That'll help you, even if you change your mind about stuff. I'll let this one play us out. Good old fun time with the Helmasaur King. Whittling down. The low-hanging fruit. Does that do anything? Should it? You get a highlight. You get a highlight. You get a highlight. Somebody stop me. It's fun though. Does it make sense? I don't know. But it kind of looks cool. I don't hate it. All right. Called there. Hot Local Grandpa, thanks for coming. And any lurkers are more than welcome to lurk. Hope to see you tomorrow.